Hello. Welcome to Mouse Cheers.
Welcome to Mouse Cheers.
Cheers. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Nice bucket hat. He said he'd wear it, and he delivered.
I keep my promises. Here's the bucket hat. I stand by it. I love it. Has a
Yeah, show him the Mickey there.
Has a Mickey on the side. Many compliments.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
doesn't fit too great over the headphones. But that's okay.
So let's now forget the bucket hat is there.
Okay.
If you need to take it off, you can.
I'm gonna keep it on.
Keep it on.
I'm gonna keep it on. You know, piggybacking right off of the last episode, we were talking about pre-ride shows and queue lines, and it just felt natural to say, all right, we're talking about our favorite queue lines. What are our favorite rides? So I think that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about our top 5 favorite rides. But we're also going to talk about our top 5 least favorite rides, or rather, our bottom 5 rides in Walt Disney World. What counts as a ride? Well,
good question. It's one I had to ask myself.
yeah. So we have not seen each other's lists. I'm going to go out and say that, the Disney transportation, like the bus, the monorail, the ferry, doesn't count. The boat rides
in the parks.
Okay, in the parks.
And nothing that can be categorized as a show.
So, is Carousel of Progress a show or a ride?
That's the only tough one. I can tell you, though, in my head, I counted it as a show.
Let's count Carousel of Progress as a show.
I'm talking...
We will do... Yeah.
I'm talking Carousel, Progress, Laugh Floor, Country Bears, Tiki Room.
Oh, yeah.
Voyage. Although... Shout out Voyage.
Yeah.
Your days are numbered.
Yeah.
Your days are numbered.
It might already be gone. It
might already be gone.
Got
some great Voyage stories, though.
Great
for
Voyage,
another time, though.
For another time, of course. We will get to attractions, but for this episode, we're going to strictly talk about rides and our favorite rides. It's fun to talk about least favorite. Would you like to do favorite first?
Yeah, I will have the most fun talking about the least favorite, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah, you want to just jump right on into
We
this?
could jump right into it, and what we could do is, and tell me if you feel differently, I could say my number 5, your number 5, my number 4, and we kind of go take turns doing it by number.
Yeah.
And 5 would be... 1 would be our favorite, and 5 would be our 5th favorite, and, progressing.
Yep, I like that. That's what we'll do.
And likewise, with the least favorite, number 5 would be our 5th least favorite, but number 1 would be our all-time least favorite ride.
Yeah.
Disney World. I'm kind of excited about this.
Yep, so
This was hard.
You struggled on this a little bit more than I did.
Yeah. And there's some surprises in there. And I got to explain myself in a couple of them, I feel. Because I love Disney World. It's my favorite.
You know what?
It's my happy... Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. Save it.
Okay.
First of all,
Okay.
not interested to begin with. And you better believe I'm going to call you out on anything that I think is a little funky here.
Please do. I'll do the same.
Oh, yeah, well, okay. But when the time comes, I don't need your disclaimer. I don't need it.
Do you know what the difference between you and me is?
What?
You're not wearing a boat hat. Let's begin. All right.
So, as standard rules go, boat hat goes first.
That is the rules. So maybe in the attractions, top 5 attractions.
This is attraction favorite number 5.
Well, I'm sorry. For the fans, this is ride favorite number 5. Attraction.
my
maybe
bad.
for the attractions video.
For another podcast, another
For
time.
the podcast about attractions, Andrew needs to wear a boat hat so that he can go first.
Oh, man.
Number 5. So my number
I'm going to
5.
have to buy a boat hat. I don't have one. Can I wear yours?
Well, you got some time. You got some time. Preferably a Disney boat hat.
Okay.
My number 5 favorite Disney World ride, the People Mover in Magic Kingdom.
I knew you were going to pull some bull like this.
Really?
I knew you were going to pull
And
some
I don't
like
think
this.
it's bull.
Because you know what? I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I spent a long time on this list.
Yeah, I know you. I know you did.
I'm being honest. There's some surprises in my bottom also. There's some surprises in my least favorites.
Why? Okay, so go on. Do you have more to say, or is that it? Just People
The
Mover.
People Mover
Transit Authority.
Yeah,
People
Tomorrowland, the Tomorrowland Transit Authority People Mover. It is a 10-minute ride around Tomorrowland. Narration, soothing, goes in the dark, goes through Space Mountain. You can hear people shouting. Goes through Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger spin. You can see the people playing on that ride, and it paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow, some classic lines in that.
Classic lines.
And it is a brilliant, smooth ride that you wish that you can just ride over and over again without getting off. You can take a nap if you wish, but not in a bad way.
It's a nice, break from the heat.
It's a break from the heat.
Yeah.
It's a break from the busy day.
Yeah.
And it's hard to not even put, I'm not kidding. It's hard to not put this up even higher because in a way, kind of like we were talking about like favorite parks. Well, what's your favorite park besides Magic Kingdom? Or like, Epcot's the best, but Magic Kingdom is Magic Kingdom. You know what I'm saying? Well, here's what I say. I'm like, People Mover in a way
Don't.
People Mover in a way is my favorite ride. However,
I don't appreciate. It doesn't matter that you're lying to me.
I'm not lying.
I know you're lying to yourself, but you know what? I don't care about that either. You're lying to the fans. Say you're sorry right now.
In a way, it's my favorite. However, it's not.
He always does things like this. He always says things like this.
I got nothing.
Is it my turn? May I go, please?
Okay, so hold on. If I can give People Mover its full due diligence.
And nothing against the People Mover. This is against you.
This is a consistently moving line, even if the line is giant. You're there, and part of the line is like this escalator thing, but it's not an escalator. It's like a belt that moves you
when it's
like
operating.
like it's in a factory.
When it's operating, when it's not operating, you have to kill the quads.
A little bit of exercise is fine, and you're walking towards a nice rest. I think that it is a brilliant ride. I love it. Do you disagree?
I think it is a brilliant ride. I love it. It did not make my top 5.
Okay.
Top 10 for sure, though.
Okay.
I'll say that.
Fair enough.
No hate on the People Mover. The hate is on your list because you know what? I think I could make a more accurate list for you.
For me,
Yeah.
This is crazy. This is wild. This is wild. So, should I pass the bucket hat? Nah, I'm gonna keep it.
I'm not gonna wear the bucket hat.
Okay. I just want the audience to know how much I love People Mover. I love it. Love it. Go ahead. What's your number 5?
The Grand Fiesta Tour.
Oh, I love that.
The Grand Fiesta Tour.
That's such a good one.
A good number 5, if I do say so myself.
I like it. I'm almost jealous of it.
And here is exactly why. You just got to Epcot. You just got to Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
You had your 10 a.m. marg.
Frozen marg for breakfast.
Frozen marg for breakfast. You had it. Or even later in the day is another good escape from the heat ride, or when it's raining ride.
Yes.
It is the catchy music, the being in the pyramid, the beautiful scenery, and the fun story. You know, it's not the best ride.
Right.
But it's fun, it's captivating. Something about it makes you want to go back again.
Oh, yeah.
And then the animatronics at the end, they're singing. It's a fiesta, you know.
When there's animatronics there at the end.
When there's animatronics,
like those cardboard cutouts are crazy.
And it's funny that they're called cutouts because they did not cut it. So
what about what's your favorite part of that ride? What about the beginning of that ride when you're?
My favorite part is the end. The animatronics.
Oh yeah.
We sing and we samba, we shout ay caramba.
Yeah. I love it. I love this song. I love the three
I'm
Caballeros.
the only one singing along in the boat.
Yeah. The beginning of that ride for me really does it. The ambiance, the darkness. You're just on the water, and just like you can't talk to me during that part. I'm just enjoying life, and the people eating at the San and Jill Inn are can watch you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do one of these and you get
it back.
You get a roll.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
they go, here's
no.
a roll. I go,
yeah. No.
thanks. A little snack for the ride.
Ride snack. Good.
Yes.
I'm like, I like that ride a lot. I'm almost jealous.
I'm not surprised that my list is already better than yours.
No, I don't want to say that. It's in my top 10. Three Caballeros is in my top 10. Grand Fiesta Tour.
Right.
And there's never really a wait. There's like never a wait.
There is never a wait. Why?
Because it's a ride inside of a pyramid, I think, and it's also ongoing, similar to Small World. And I think an ongoing attraction like that in such a space that, at one time doesn't hold a ton of people. Plus, it's not a thrill ride, and it's not a new ride like Frozen Ever After, which is another good one to get out of the rain, by the way. But I think that's why. But I love it. And there's talk. Yeah.
The Grand Fiesta Tour is even better than. I won't disagree that it's a good one to get out of the rain because it's inside and the ambiance and all that. Right. But you know what? It's also not just the ride in the pyramid. You got Cava del Tequila. You got You got the stores, all the
glass store,
all the beautiful handmade stuff too. Yeah. There's some Perry the Platypus game in there.
Oh, you know what? That's the Phineas and Ferb Kid Adventure, which is not there anymore, unfortunately.
It's not there anymore?
It's
Since
not.
when?
You know what? They also got rid of Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom.
No,
they did.
Was it because people were cheating too much?
Were people cheating?
You like do the cards, I don't
know, but
I'd always point out the kid doing that. I'd be like, use one card at a time, you cheater.
I wish that I had gotten a chance to play those because they looked cool, but. Unfortunately it's not there, but I love the pyramid. It's one of my favorites, and we were talking in a previous episode about like Japan being the best store and stuff. That holds true, but the pyramid is like a second. Like just being in that pyramid, like for me, is like a second place.
Can I quickly say something?
Yeah,
it's kind of off topic, but have you ever done Remy's Hide and Squeak?
No.
That's a fun thing to play.
Really?
So I've done Remy's Hide and Squeak around the World Showcase.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was like, okay, this is funny. At first, I was like, because you get a map of the World Showcase, and when you find Remy, you have to put the sticker of the vegetable or whatever Remy's holding.
For the Food and Wine.
For the Food and Wine Festival, yes. And so I was like, I don't need to look at this. So I'm just going to walk around and, I'm going to stay in each country until I find Remy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I didn't know, so the first country is Mexico. I found Remy. Next one, Norway.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I can't find Remy anywhere. I'm going to need a little help after like a significant amount of time because, I'm very stubborn.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to find Remy. After a significant amount of time, I was like, oh, man, I'm gonna need some help or something. I look at the map. There's no Remy in Norway. The next one's China.
So you wasted a lot of time in Norway.
Yeah.
Oh.
But so shout out Remy's Hide and Squeak. I won a plastic bowl.
Oh, if they do that again next. Oh, you did?
I did.
Plastic bowl.
It's pretty cool.
Do you have it?
I do. I'll bring it in next time.
I want to see it. I haven't seen it.
Next podcast I'll bring it.
Next podcast?
Yeah.
I will do that next time if they have it. So.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything else to say about Grand Fiesta Tour?
Nope. I think it's a solid number 5.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, number 4 for me, Pirates of the Caribbean.
I got to tell you, I thought it'd be higher up on your list. I am surprised to hear it at number 4.
Oh, really?
I am.
Well, you'll see in my top 3 why, but Pirates of the Caribbean is almost as good as you can get. It's pure Disney. I think it was an opening day attraction. They've changed it since the movies. Added Jack Sparrow and whatnot. But the right down from the queue line to the actual ride, there's like a little drop there. The ambience in that big mist room where the water cannons are going and the water is splashing up. You might get wet.
I hate getting wet.
And then in the fire room to the guys, trying to get the dog with the key, in the jail while the city is burning, and then finally Captain Jack Sparrow finding all the treasure by stealing by the map and the key.
Have you been on it during Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
I have.
And like the pirates in the queue line and whatnot. Looking for what's his name? Blackbeard?
Why does that not ring a bell?
Don't trust Blackbeard. He's going to try to, I don't know, steal.
Wait a minute,
balloons.
Is it like actors?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Pirates and what's the other one where the actors are in it? Oh boy,
Haunted Mansion?
No. Don't embarrass yourself again, John.
Well, the other one where the actors are in it?
There are 2 rides where during the Halloween party where there are
I don't recall this at all.
You know what? You talk about pirates.
I've done Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party several times, and why am I not recalling this?
It's okay. You do your thing. I'm just gonna.
Well, on a normal day or regardless, I love the Dead Men Tell No Tales, and you're going through like this mist waterfall, which I don't think is there anymore, but I remember it. It's like you can see. You can see what's Barbosa. You can see him as like Dead Men Tell No Tales, and you go through the mist waterfall. You're like, oh, am I gonna get wet? No, it's just mist. And then the rock that's shaped like a skull, but then as you like ride the boat, you see that it's just 2 different rocks. You see skeletons on the beach, a skeleton driving a pirate ship, and then now they take a picture of you. And that's fun, because it's like kind of at a spot that you might not expect. It's right before the drop, but a lot of like blank faces on the ride. But the drop is awesome. I just think the whole ride in general is really cool. There was of course the auction scene. They used to auction off the redhead. Now they're doing a chicken auction or hens. And all the guys are like, it's the rum we want. Like, it's all good. It's fun.
So let's talk about Not So Scary for a moment. So there are a few things in Not So Scary where you see different characters, sometimes in queue lines, and the Pirates of the Caribbean ride is one of them. And then, the Mad Tea Party has the Queen of Hearts and Tweedledee and Tweedledum.
Okay, I knew that.
And then...
Man, I don't recall the Pirates.
You don't. So essentially, they're looking for, I believe it's Blackbeard.
Okay.
And there's a part in the queue line, kind of towards the beginning, where they're like bars, like it's a jail cell. Someone sits in there, and they just go, "If you find Blackbeard, don't trust him. Don't trust him." I was like, okay. And it's a little awkward when the line stops, and like if you're the actor and I'm me,
it's like, don't trust him.
Don't trust him. It's like
now you're just stuck there. Yeah, that's very funny.
Try
not to make eye contact again.
But it adds something to the ride that's fun.
Yeah.
And
yeah, I'm all about that. I'm all about
So just something. And again, they only do it during Not So Scary.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like at Christmas time.
Right.
Like they do like Jingle Cruise and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. What's your number 4?
It is Journey of the Little Mermaid.
Okay, and I could have guessed that just because in the last episode you were highly talking about the queue line. You would have that queue line in your house.
Oh yeah.
You have that ride in your house, in your backyard.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's something very special about that ride to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't pinpoint why.
Okay.
I don't have a good answer for you. But let me tell you, and shout out, what is it, 1,000 Leagues Under the Sea or whatever.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Not interested.
Did that replace it?
Well, it's that, if I'm correct, it did, because there's still part, if I'm correct, because there's water on the outside, there's like a hidden thing, like a nod to 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
I hope you're not right about it, but that's pretty cool if you are.
So there's
I love when one of us will say something wrong from time to time, and that's hilarious to me. That's hilarious to me. We're not perfect, but it's fine.
I like to think I'm right.
Yeah.
But there's nothing like, first of all, the queue line, which I know we talked about this in the queue line in a pre-show episode. Nothing beats it for me. It's my favorite queue line. Scuttle introduces you, and then you walk into. We talked about it. It's just next level, and then you jump into the seashell. You're immediately underwater now, and you see the bubbles really and all this, and you're taken through the story. And talk about, just really quick, the start of the Disney Renaissance. Little Mermaid.
Yeah.
What a tribute to the start of the Renaissance there.
I agree with you.
And you go through the story, you get this, you go through all your favorite songs. Under the sea, there's a big party happening. Mm-hmm. One of the best animatronics in all of Disney World, Ursula.
Oh, yeah. That's so awesome. Such an awesome scene.
And my boys Flotsam and Jetsam are there.
No doubt. They got to fix Ariel's mouth.
I don't think they have to fix a single thing.
I think they have to fix Ariel's mouth. This is as of this recording, and they probably already fixed it. And it was just like stuck open during the Part of Your World song. It was. I'm just mentioning it. It's probably already fixed. But
I'm sure me and all the rest of the fans don't care.
What's your favorite scene on the ride?
That's a good-looking question.
Mm.
But you know what? If I have to give an answer, I'm going to say... Now, that's a tough one. There's a whole lot of things to look at in the Under the Sea portion of it. So, like, if you're talking, like, new things to look at, maybe you feel like you can see something different each time you ride.
Okay.
That would be a good answer. But I also am a big fan of the... You're like going backwards at a point in time. You're moving down. It's nice and relaxing. You're looking up. There are bubbles on the ceiling, and the cool air is coming at you. It's just, it sets the scene. It relaxes you. It's just tops for me.
Yeah.
It's tops for me.
Yeah, and I agree. It's not much I could say. I think my favorite atmosphere-wise scene is Kiss the Girl. I really love that scene.
Yeah.
It's just like a lot of good visual there.
Yeah. I agree with you there. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything else to say on that?
I mean, no. It's just, it's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. And it even goes further than, because I also want to say this, because we're doing top 5.
We are.
That is not taking away, like, number 5, and this is number 4, but number 5 isn't the least of the favorites. It's just, it's just the way things have to go.
Right.
But like 5, like if something's your 5th favorite, that's pretty darn good.
Oh yeah, absolutely, because there's a lot of rides.
So I just want to preface that, like,
yeah,
it's number 4 on my list, but like number 4 on my list.
Right.
You know what I mean?
No, that's pretty high up. It's pretty wild. So far, 2 very different lists, which is awesome. I like variety. I can't I don't know your list, but I can't promise that we won't have a couple of the same. I'm not sure. But number 3 for me is Expedition Everest.
It's a gem.
It is a gem.
What can I say?
There was a point in time that was my all-time favorite, but I had to be true to myself. It's my 3rd favorite. I love, the queue line's great. I love how, pleasant the ride starts off. Again, it's one of those rides you could just play along. Oh, what a pleasant ride.
I hear there are Yetis in these parts.
Yeah. And you're going up. You see some prints. You see some stuff. You're like, Yeti's fake, right? And then you get to the tracks that are pulled up.
Yeah, you're looking around, hair ties everywhere.
That eagle that you see if you're in the very front.
Oh, just real quick, right before you get to that part too, you're going up, and you're looking around. You can see the Epcot ball.
Yeah.
This.
You can see
Pandora, if I'm correct.
Definitely. You can see a ton.
Because it's in Animal Kingdom.
Right. I believe you might be able to see Tower of Terror as well.
That's probably what I meant.
Yeah. That's not what he meant. But and then it starts going backwards. So it's just like a very fun, inventive, innovative, brilliant ride. That thing, the first time it went backwards, I'm like going upside down right now. No, it's just really I don't know what's happening, but it's pretty wild. You hit some G's, and then you see the shadow of the Yeti rips the tracks apart, and then you go down that main drop that you see at the front of the ride. And honestly, that drop isn't bad at all. In fact, you barely feel it, in my opinion.
The worst part is the backwards part.
The craziest part's the backwards.
That's coming from hate roller coasters. We talked about it a little bit in the last podcast. But if I could eliminate that part of the ride, it might be my favorite.
When we first went on it, because I took Andrew to Disney the first time he went, and I wanted him to love Everest so much, so I'm talking to I'm the first ride, I'm going to talk through it with him. I'm like, hey, it's starting off, it's gentle. I know you don't like roller coasters. We're just chilling. And then it gets to the tracks. I'm like, see, we're stopped. We're cool. And then it starts going back. I'm like, see, we're going back. And it starts getting faster. I'm like, there was nothing I could say. I'm like, this part's pretty crazy.
This part kind of sucks a little bit.
Yeah.
Can I just tell a story really quick?
Yeah.
Also about the first time you took me to Disney.
Yeah.
We were on Rock and Roller Coaster because you were very adamant that even though I was not a fan of roller coasters at all, that we would make an exception for Disney and go on everything.
And that's what I had done, and I wanted you to share that.
So, and I appreciate you doing that. So Rock and Roller Coaster. Do you remember that day? I'm going to tell you all about that day because I remember that.
I don't remember.
Well, I'm going to tell you all about that. We were in the queue line going, and I knew of it.
Okay.
I understood that it was going to go from 0 to 60 in 3 seconds or whatever the hell.
Oh, I think did I tell you
you were like
you're driving a car and you just go.
You were like you're driving a car and then we're next up and you were like, you good with inversions? And I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And then as the ride's happening, we go in a loop and I'm like, Oh, that's what he meant by inversions. No, I'm not okay with it. No.
I don't remember that, but I it kind of rings a bell, but I don't really remember.
You can't hit me with that in that moment because the brain isn't processing what you mean.
You cool with inversions? Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm cool with anything.
Yeah,
but yeah, so that's fun.
So luckily there are no inversions in Everest, but it's some fast speeds and then the Yeti at the end. Such a good ride. One of my absolute favorites. Love it, love it.
Absolutely, a great picture too. Can I just say, I am a master.
Mm-hmm.
Master at ride pictures.
Oh,
I'm a master at ride pictures. Now, you can do the classic falling asleep during the ride.
Yeah, that's classic.
It's classic. It's easy. It's a cop-out. As you get better, and this is not for beginners, you start doing more dangerous things. You pull out the cell phone. You're talking on the phone. You take off the shoe. You talk on the shoe phone.
The shoe phone.
Love the shoe phone.
What on Rock and Roller Coaster, when it goes 0 to 60 in like 3 seconds, I tried to like keep just a dead straight face. This was the first time I had tried to do that, and in the picture you can see like I have a deadpan face, but you see like my neck muscles are like that. I'm like, okay, next time.
Next time. Or well, the thing is with me, I depending on when you get me, I'll have longer hair.
Yeah.
And if I'm dead face, I'm really good at it. But my hair is back. Like a big fan is on me, you know.
Some of my favorite ride pictures were going on with somebody I didn't know. But if there's somebody like, you know, approachable and cool, I could say, hey, for the picture, let's pretend we're best buds. And I'm going to put my arm around you and like, you know,
that was funny when you did that. Because the reason why that happened was because we were doing single rider on Everest.
Yes.
And we each, it was a contest, if I'm correct. Or maybe we also did one with Test Track.
Yeah.
So I might be confusing the two.
Right, because of these rides with single rider, it's just an easy way to get on fast. But yeah, I think we did a contest.
So, and John was like, you know, the stranger sitting next to him, he was like, hey, let's pretend we're like buddy. And then the picture was like him with his arm around the stranger, and, you know, he's and the guy was all for it too. Really he was funny. Playing along very well. It was really a great picture. Shout out that guy.
No doubt. What's your number 3?
Everest.
Hey, perfect.
And there it is. So,
well, what is this?
Nope.
Cheers.
There we go.
Like a fist bump. I don't think I've ever fist bumped him in my life.
Yeah, it felt wrong.
That's why we didn't do it.
We didn't do it, and you know what? We're men of the people, so we cheers.
All right. So do you want to say anything else about Everest, or should we just go right on to number 2?
Let's go right on to number 2.
Let's go right on to number 2. Haunted Mansion. Number 2.
A good one.
Yeah.
A good one.
Haunted Mansion, from the queue line to the ghost host, the stretching room, and then you're on your doom buggy, and it's played out like a tour, where there's 999 happy haunts, but there's always room for 1,000. See us at the end of the tour. Be sure to bring your death certificate.
Hilarious.
But it's a perfect circle of like it. Listen, you start and it's just ominous, like the pictures are changing. There's now a ride picture also, which is phenomenal. But you go through these rooms, and it's like you're going through the rooms of this haunted house. There's no real story, and the doors are creaking. And the scariest part of the ride for me, the clock is just like turning, and you see like the arm or the hand go by, the shadow of the hand go by. I think that's the creepiest part of the ride. And then we go into the dining room scene, where there's some amazing Imagineering, and you see the ghost dancing and you know, swinging, and the pictures are like having a duel, and then the bride. So you're going through like different story elements, and you're learning more about this house, and then you go through the Madame Leota, the head and the talking head in the ball, who helps materialize the ghosts, and then you get this classic Disney song in Grim Grinning Ghost.
Sometimes I listen to that in the car.
Oh, of course. Yeah. It's so Disney.
With the ghost host voice included, by the way, not just Grim Grinning. Because there are two separate. You can listen to the full ride attraction, which has the ghost host voice.
Oh, really?
And then there's just a Grim Grinning Ghost song.
You listen to the full thing?
The full attraction.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. You need to show me that, because I don't. Mm-hmm. I only listen to the song.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Even better. Like, you feel like you're really there.
That's so cool.
Let me. I have so much to say. Let me start here, though. Have you ever had the ride stop during the almost completely laying down portion of it?
Yes. It's the best.
I've had the ride stop literally right before, and I was pissed. The second it started is when we started turning.
Oh, no.
I was like, come on now. Come on now.
I always say that I love getting stuck on that one, because I just really love Haunted Mansion. I just love being on it, and to be stuck on it is fine. I've never been evacuated from it. But speaking to listening to things like driving or something, sometimes I'll put on Soarin' or something, and I'll be driving, and then Soarin' will end, and I'm at work. I pull up at work.
Yeah,
I'm not as cool.
Not great. Can I ask what your thoughts are on the I don't know if you want to call it a theory. I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's a theory that at the beginning you're alive and then you die halfway through, and that's why you can see the ghosts at the end.
I don't believe in that theory.
No,
personally. I think it's they're beginning to materialize because of Madame Leota. So I don't know where you heard the theory. It's a cool theory, but I don't think that I believe it.
Right.
And basically it's an invitation to join at the end of the tour. So it's a cool theory. I don't think I buy it, though. So
right. Okay.
Let me just ask: is Haunted Mansion your second? You don't have to. If it's on your list, you don't have to tell me. But is it your second?
It is not my second. No.
Okay. Because I also want to give you a chance. Like, if I were to say, I know I have the bucket hat, but if I were to say, hey, third is Everest, and I talk about Everest for a while, and they're like, hey, second is Haunted Mansion, and I want to give you a chance to talk as well.
Well, then let's talk, because it's my number one.
Oh,
Haunted Mansion, because it's my number one.
It's worthy of being a number one.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let's back up a little bit.
Sure.
Let's back up a little bit here.
Okay.
This is another one of those attractions where everyone's in the full getup.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on who you get, they're acting like they're part of the actual staff of the mansion.
Right.
Love that. We talked about that a little bit in a previous podcast. The queue line, the interactive, you're looking at gravestones, the end of the ride when you're, the graveyard and the Mr. Toad, the little secret thing there.
Yeah.
And so that's all fantastic. The stretching room. Talk about getting you into it.
Right.
And from what I was saying when I listened to it in the car, the full attraction, it's from the stretching room on.
That's
so
awesome.
You hear it's mostly just the ghost host at the beginning, because
that's
exactly
awesome.
what it is.
Really awesome.
And then it is, and you were right when you commented on the picture. The picture really brought this ride up to the next level. But the going through the ride and just really quick, let me fill you in on this theory.
Okay.
And I'm not saying I believe it either. I just wanted to know your opinions on it.
Okay.
But the theory is that you are entering the mansion. You're going through, you're going through the house, the dining room. You work your way up to the attic. You meet the bride, and right after you start to turn and you go down, people think that is when you've passed.
Okay.
And they also say from that moment on is when you actually start to see the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you're one of them, so you can see them. So that's what the theory is.
Okay.
And it's fun. I'll say that.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
Yeah.
But it is also a bit much.
It doesn't... There's holes in it.
There's holes.
Because you do see the dead in the dining room.
Right.
You know, and you do see the bride. So there's holes in it. But obviously, in the graveyard, you see it a lot more. There's also evidence, like the guy at the gate. He's clearly alive, but he's seeing the activity because they're materializing. That's what I feel.
And something we don't have, the Matchbox Ghost, which is only in Disneyland. So I want to get your opinion on this. Would you prefer to have the Matchbox Ghost? Because it's in replace of, if I'm correct, it's in replace of the groundskeeper.
If it's in place of that, I'm happy to have the groundskeeper.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I'm not a pro at that. I actually don't. I can't even picture the Matchbox Ghost. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint.
We live very far from Disneyland.
Yeah, we live relatively close to Florida. Like we live on the East Coast, at least. We're about as far from Disneyland as you can get in the United States.
So we're not super educated on that.
No, not so much.
But let me say, I'm very happy with what we have because I've also expressed my problems with what they do with Haunted Mansion,
with Halloween,
with around Christmas time, and
right,
Nightmare Before Christmas,
right, Christmas, yeah.
What if you're the type of people we've talked about this already? But what if you're the type of people that can only vacation in the Christmas time area,
right?
And you're not getting the full Haunted Mansion experience, which I think is criminal.
Yeah, it really is unfortunate for people who fall into that category. It just kind of is what it is. Luckily, I'd love to see it, but luckily Disney World, during the Halloween party, I love going on Haunted Mansion during that. Christmas time, Haunted Mansion is a year round. I love it. So I'm glad that we don't get that. But also we're fortunate that we can go at different times of the year. But yeah,
right.
I would say it is unfortunate for them. So,
and then the ending where you're seeing the hitchhiking ghosts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I always get the same scene in that. It's like they're switching my head like a bubble, like switching my head with the person next to me.
Right.
But then I look at other people's cars and I'm like, oh, that one looks cool.
They're getting much cooler ones. Yeah, I keep on getting the same one.
So yeah.
So let me ask you this, just really quick.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on the Eddie Murphy Haunted Mansion movie?
No, it's a missed opportunity, and it's about no. I don't hate the movie. I'll watch it and have a decent time, but it's such a missed opportunity. They were trying to strike gold like they did with Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, which they did, and they just dropped the ball. Like, come on. The Haunted Mansion story is so rich. Don't make it about whoever the heck Eddie Murphy was. He was a realtor, and he didn't have time for his kids, and there was that whole storyline. I'm like, just the Haunted Mansion in Disney World is such a rich story. I think the Muppets Haunted Mansion did a better job.
Oh, I actually haven't seen that.
I know you don't love the Muppets. Give it a shot.
Love the Muppets. Love Pepe though.
So you don't love the Muppets. It's not crazy Muppet heavy, the Muppet hijinks. It really walks you through the ride, and it's quite. If you're a fan of the ride, I would absolutely give it a watch. So try it out, even though you're not warmed up on the Muppets. So,
all right.
I'm curious as if my number one is the same as your number two now.
Okay.
So here I go.
I think it might be.
Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain is my number two.
Okay.
Yes.
And both are worthy of being a number one. For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And let me just say, I think the reason why it's not my number one is because I'm not a fan of roller coasters, and that ending drop just is not fun to me.
You don't.
It's not fun.
You dread it a little.
Yeah.
Okay. This is the one. If I had any ride in my backyard, it would be Splash Mountain, hands down. The nostalgic feeling. It's the first ride I ever went on in Disney World, so I have that memory. I love being in it in the queue line. There was one time where it was very dead, and we rode it twice in a row, and I was like, "This is awesome." And there was one time it was raining. That was not awesome because it was like kind of cold. It was like later, and like you're inside for some of the ride, but then you like go outside and you're like, oh, and there was like no line there, and they offered us to go on again, and we're like, nah, we're gonna go because it was like a cold rain. It was not good.
Well, let's talk about for a second when it's not raining and you stop at that that waterfall.
You talking right before the at the end.
Yeah, at the
end. Oh yeah. Like right after the drop.
Terrible.
Yeah. Just like those little splashes can be worse than like getting soaked.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that the how do you do bird, like you see you're like in the beautiful ride, but like you're it's like how do you do, and then you hear like this, like you see this birdhouse. And there's like an audio coming out like how do you do, and it's like this bird. I'm like
I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
And it is would you so it is considered would you call it a flume ride?
Yeah,
it's a flume ride.
Yeah.
Okay. It's my favorite flume ride. Period.
Hands down.
And the Imagineering through the story of Song of the South is perfect.
I completely agree. It's like the Uncle Remus stories brought to life in the ride, and I just really enjoy it. As problematic as the movie is seen, I am sad on the retheming. I think Princess and the Frog should get its own ride.
Now, Princess and the Frog is like my third favorite Disney movie. I think I am so stoked at the thought of a Princess and the Frog ride. I say, make it happen fast. But not Splash Mountain.
I know it's hard because Haunted Mansion's my number 2, but it's going to be my number 1 soon.
Yeah.
Unless Princess and the Frog really, but the Splash Mountain appeal is my nostalgia. It's the first ride I went on. It was the first I saw of like the complete immersion that Disney has, and that laughing place where everybody's like, and then they just go into like this danger zone, and then you stop. And when it's the morning, the bright light is coming out through that hole. That where that the drop is wild, but then there's like a lot of fake out drops. You're like, oh, this is the drop. Oh, it's not,
so the one in Disney World has more drops than the one in California, Disneyland.
Yeah.
That is one thing that how they differ, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That there's not. It's almost like it's. I want to say there are 2 drops and then the major drop in Florida.
I think there's 3.
Yeah,
I think there's 3 because there's like 2 pretty close to each other before the laughing place. There's one early on, so I think there's 3 and then the big drop. I think maybe Disneyland is 2 in the big drop.
Oh, okay.
I could be wrong, but I believe we're 3 in the big drop. The songs are amazing. How do you do?
That's another one I listen to in the car.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
always.
Yep.
Laughing Place and then Zippity Doo Dah.
Zippity Doo, love Zippity Doo.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
and then the big boat at the end, Zippity Doo Dah, and all the animatronics and whatnot. The chickens, I don't know, the frogs, I don't know, frogs on the base. yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah.
I was evacuated from Splash Mountain the last time I went. And we walked through like this back door, like where all this like, construction. I saw like some extra ride vehicles outside, and then we walked through the Zippity Doodah scene like on the side. I'm like, this is awesome. So,
you sent me a video of that, and didn't you get? I think
got
you
yelled
texted
at.
me. Yeah, so he sent me a video when he was getting evacuated from Splash Mountain, and so he sent me. It was like a couple seconds long, and then he like texted me afterwards. He was like, "Yeah, I just got yelled at for taking that video."
Very funny. Very funny.
Very funny, but very cool. You know, I'll even say this: I haven't been evacuated from a ride.
No.
I haven't been evacuated. No.
It'll happen.
You know, and it's a funny thing because you don't want it to happen, but then a little bit you do.
But a little bit you do.
and
you could always go back on it another time.
You can always go back on it another time. And you know what? Something similar but different, you know, like it does in the sense that it doesn't happen all the time, but you kind of want it to happen when the lights are on in Space Mountain.
I've never... Okay, so I during a ride on the People Mover, I saw the lights on, but I've never ridden Space Mountain with the lights on.
Get ready for this.
You have?
Get ready for this.
Yeah.
I have a story to tell you. You don't know this story.
Okay.
This is a big moment. I usually tell you everything.
Yeah,
you don't know this story.
Okay.
Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. One of the rides that is altered just a little bit is Space Mountain. And what happens is it's completely black and the music changes. It's more rock and roll music.
Really?
The lights were on.
What?
The lights were on.
How was that?
It was different.
What was it less scary?
It was less scary. I was like, "Oh, I can see everything."
Wow.
and like I was like, I was asking the person I was with, I was like, it's supposed to be like pitch black, right? She was like, "Oh yeah."
Oh man.
So not only did I see Space Mountain with the lights on, but I saw it with the lights on when it was supposed to be even more dark than it usually is.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's a fun story.
That's a cool story.
So I've never experienced it completely dark, even though I went on at a Halloween party.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
Yeah. That's a fun story.
Okay. I think that was a solid top 5.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that was the easy stuff. So it's fun to talk trash a little bit, but let's be clear. I have a place in my heart for just about every ride at Magic Kingdom. So in Disney World, rather.
Disney World in general, because here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It took John a little longer than me, but it took us both a hot minute to think about our top 5s, because when it comes down to it, you don't want to put the label on it.
Right.
You don't want to, because they're all great in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
And that there's something to be said about that. There's something to be said about that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Imagineers work very hard, and their talents pay off. Their talents pay off, you know? So shout out to them.
100%.
But there are some misses, unfortunately.
Here we go.
There are some misses for next time.
For next time.
For next time.
We can do it next time. Where are we at?
We have like 6 more minutes.
Let's do it.
Let's do it?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, let's do it.
All right, so the bottom 5.
So now let me just preface this then. These are our bottom 5s. Doesn't mean we absolutely hate the ride.
Mm-hmm.
But again, similar to the favorites, we had to you have to come up with your bottoms. So we're gonna do this the same way. You go for Bucket Hat goes first, and then
next time if you have a bucket hat, you can go first.
Okay.
Okay. So and we can we can go a little quicker than the top 5. Yeah, we'll see. We're gonna play how it goes.
We'll
we
see
go
how
where
it
the wind
goes.
takes us. Okay. And I wrote these. It's not necessarily in an order. Okay, so
figure out your order.
Okay, no,
John.
I got my order. Okay. Number 5.
We're on the podcast.
I feel like people are going to come after me.
What's your number 5?
Jungle Cruise. Here's why.
Stop. You're pulling. You're on a roll today.
Thank you.
No, a bad roll today. You're on a bad roll today, and here's why. Because you're, and I've said that, and I hate saying things twice. You're lying to me. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to the fans.
I don't need to go on Jungle Cruise.
I can name 10 rides right now that are not on your top list that you would put over Jungle Cruise. 100%.
No, this is a bottom 5.
That's what I mean. Bottom.
Oh.
I can name 10 right now.
Well, don't, because you're going to give away some of yours.
John,
just go with it. Go with it, and let me explain myself. I like the Jungle Cruise, but when it comes to what can I pass on, what do I not need to go on every time I go to Disney, Jungle Cruise is one of those.
No.
I enjoy Jungle Cruise.
You can tell. You can tell he was running out of time making his list already.
That was one of the first ones I put on it. I wasn't running out of time. Was not running out of time. Listen. Jungle Cruise is fun. Jungle Cruise is corny. It's meant to be that way. I'll go on it, one and done, or maybe none and done. So, but I like it, but it's on the bottom spectrum for me. Andrew, number 5, or whatever you want to say.
I'm so heated, it got instantly 10 degrees hotter in here.
Did you see this movie?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Continue.
Does the movie factor into your thing,
no,
John? Does the movie... Because you're on a roll right now, so I believe you'd believe that.
I haven't seen the movie. I want to. I haven't seen it.
I don't. So here's my number 5.
Okay.
Which is...
It's going to be some BS one, too.
Seas with Nemo and Friends.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I mean, what?
Am I right?
Yeah,
nope, please. My time to shine now. I thought I was going to have to fight for this until you said Jungle Cruise. And now it's like, well, duh, Seas with Nemo and Friends. Well, duh.
Okay, so Seas with Nemo and Friends is a bottom 5, I agree. But not necessarily a 5th. I think it's a little lower on the list.
Then you're not thinking about all the rides at Disney World, John. You're not thinking.
It was either earlier in this podcast or a previous one where I said like the Dumbo type rides. I like those. So like on my list wouldn't be like Dumbo or like Magic Carpet or Triceratops Spin.
John, you're not going to find those on my list either.
Okay. Seas with Nemo and Friends.
So it's an okay ride. I love the whole aquarium aspect of it, and you see the manatees eating the lettuce and whatnot, and then you can go to the crushed turtle talk and whatnot. That's a lot of fun.
Wait.
What?
I didn't follow any of what you just said. The lettuce? You see the lettuce?
The manatees eating the lettuce.
Oh,
John.
Manatees eating the lettuce.
Could you
That's
listen?
Not the seas.
Could you let me finish, please? Maybe if you let me finish, you know where I was going with this.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, here's what John does. Not only does he not let me finish what I'm saying so he can understand fully, but then he'll say things like, Jungle Cruise is my 5th least favorite ride in the whole Disney World.
Stand by it.
So,
I have to be true to myself.
Well, okay.
Continue.
Not only is the whole like aquarium thing cool, you can see the manatees eating the lettuce and whatnot, the crushed turtle talk and whatnot. Lots of fun. The kids love it too.
Yeah.
But usually, I always do Nemo and Friends to get into that area.
Right.
And I always want it to be better than it is. And even knowing like my thoughts on it, somehow it still disappoints. which is there's something to be said about that.
Yeah. There's some pretty cool imagery when they project the characters in the aquarium, but it feels like a slap together ride.
It leaves something to be desired because it's literally like there is no story. We're looking for Nemo,
right?
And
right,
like,
there's no story.
So
like,
just
see,
the only important thing that needs to happen is each time we need to see Nemo somehow quickly, like swim off the screen so kids can be like, oh, there he is, you know, next, you know, we got to get him or whatever. I don't even think kids are thinking that. But so like, I think it's a solid top 5 least favorite.
I agree with you.
Especially compared to Jungle Cruise. I cannot wait to hear your number 4. I can't wait.
Ooh, I got him heated with that one. But I think a lot of people don't even know that you can get. Some people think that you can't get into the aquarium without riding the ride, and you can. You could go in through the left side in the gift shop, but some people don't know that, and they feel like, oh, you want to go to the aquarium? Oh, but I really don't want to ride that ride.
That's very unfortunate for people who don't know that. Yeah. Very unfortunate. So
my 4th would be Mad Tea Party. And the reason that's on my 4th is because if I'm staring in one spot and I'm spinning real fast, I can handle myself. I don't necessarily enjoy it. It's something that I have to get through. And otherwise, if it was just up to me, I would sit in the teacup and let it like do its thing, and I wouldn't spin it at all. And that kind of misses the point also. So I just don't think it's a ride tailored for somebody like me. I'll go on it. I definitely don't go on it every time. And I enjoy it, but it's just not, it's not the caliber for me. So number 4.
A good number 4, I don't enjoy it at all. I hate any kind of teacups that spin. You know how sensitive my head area is.
Yeah.
I cannot do Flight of Passage, let alone spinning in a teacup.
Yeah, right.
Though it's not my number 4, it's my number 3.
Got it. And you know what's my number 3? The Seas with Nemo and Friends. So there it is.
Well,
we
there,
meet
well,
right
there
in the
it
middle.
is. And my number 4, Tomorrowland Speedway.
Ooh. I forgot about Tomorrowland.
You forgot about that. John would rather go on Tomorrowland Speedway than Jungle Cruise, everybody. Good job, John. Way to put 110% into this podcast.
So, the Tomorrowland Speedway...
I have to pee so bad.
Oh, do you? The Tomorrowland Speedway is enjoyable. It's like I have to pee so bad. I'm like, is. It's enjoyable for the nostalgia. It's enjoyable with kids, but also, it's fun. It's I think there's fun to it, and
I don't think there's any fun to it. So here's the thing: kids that oh, I want to drive a car. I get that. Me, you can't steer the thing. You go in left and right. I don't care which way. You might as well not steer at all.
Right.
And then in that case, what's the point of even going on?
I get it.
Am I right?
I get it.
So then it's like, I say demolish the Speedway, demolish it completely, put something else there.
I totally thought they were demolishing it for Tron.
Something else there.
Yeah. I heard they're going to replace it with electric vehicles. I feel like it's not going anywhere, to be honest.
The same thing.
I know. It's there's value to it.
Nope.
Well,
nope.
To each his own. It's fine. My number 2. My number 2 is Tomorrowland Speedway. And here's why. Because
okay.
Because I have nothing. It's Tomorrowland Speedway, and here's why. I agree with everything you just said.
Okay, so my number 2 is Mission Space.
Mission Space? I like Mission Space.
It's an easy one to skip. I don't like the spinning.
It doesn't need to spin. You got the green.
Well, even then, it's an easy one to skip.
Oh, man.
Go into space. You know what? I don't care about space. I don't care for space movies. I don't care about space.
Too bad. I like it. I think it's fun. And there's a button that says yaw. So I always press that and say yaw when I do that. Let me explain what just happened a second ago. I said, okay, so I wrote Carousel of Progress. I love Carousel of Progress, but at the beginning of this podcast, we agreed that it wasn't a ride, that it was a show. So then I had to think real quick, and I'm like, you know what? Even though I was defending Tomorrowland Speedway, I agree with what he said. I'm not saying it's cool. Did you just say you're number 2?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Mission Space.
So let's see if we have the same number 1. Well, hold on.
No, we won't.
I need to defend Mission Space for a second.
You don't need to.
Well, hold on. You don't like the spinning.
No.
But the green.
It's an easy one to skip also. And they replaced my boy Gary, which we talked about in a previous podcast.
Yeah, that's true. But, the simulation.
And you know what? I have a space thing. I have a problem with space movies. I find them boring. I don't know. What's cool about it? You hit buttons when they tell you to hit buttons. Oh, wow.
Oh, okay, but on that note, you should say that Millennium Falcon is not a good ride.
I don't care for Millennium Falcon either.
Okay. I think,
it's just better than Mission Space. So it didn't make the top 5.
Just curious. For Millennium Falcon and Star Tours, both kind of similar, but Star Tours has more scenarios, so you're not riding the same ride twice. Millennium Falcon's always the same thing, to my understanding. Does that make Star Tours better than Millennium Falcon?
Yes. I don't care for Millennium Falcon.
I think I agree, which is crazy. I think Millennium Falcon, I like Millennium Falcon, but I think the immersion is wonderful and far exceeds Star Tours, but I think Star Tours might have a re-ride factor that Millennium Falcon does not.
Shout out Star Tours.
Done and done.
What's your number 1?
Should we say it at the same time? Like, do we have the same one?
I guarantee we don't have the same one. I guarantee we don't have the same
one. My least favorite ride has to be Astro Orbiter. Now, I know that I said that Dumbo-type rides weren't on it, but I didn't
stop. You heard him say that no Dumbo-type ride was on the list. He purposely and then he started listing them. Rewind the tape if you don't believe me. He started listing them.
I did not
John, please, it's my turn.
Yeah, go ahead.
He started listing them. He said Magic Carpet. He said Triceratops Spin. He purposely left out Astro Orbiter. What's the matter with you, John?
I don't know. I feel people hating me slowly.
People do hate you.
But the line... The elevator up, and then it's a short ride. It's really short. So, like, for Dumbo, it's Dumbo. It's classic. For Magic Carpet Ride, you got the camel that spits at you. So you're like, oh, am I gonna get spit at? Triceratops Spin. It's
got nothing.
No.
It's got nothing.
2 people can ride like front and back. Astro Orbiter, you can ride front and back, but it is uncomfortable and it's short. I know it's high up,
John,
and that's fun to some people, but it's not.
Yes. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Because I agree, I'm not a fan of Astro Orbiter. But if you're telling me you're going to go on Triceratops Spin before Astro Orbiter, what if you go on Astro Orbiter at night? You get a beautiful view of the castle,
for like 20 seconds.
What are you getting? Nighttime Triceratops Spin, what are you getting?
Nothing. At least a minute and a half of a ride. Astro Orbiter, you get a view. You know what's better? Being on the People Mover, seeing a nice view for 10 minutes. Astro Orbiter, you're 20 seconds, and if somebody's with you, it's uncomfortable. It's an uncomfortable ride.
You're out of your mind.
You need to ride an elevator.
You need to loosen your bucket hat, I think, dude. And you know what? I feel bad for you. And do you know why?
Why?
Because when this podcast is over, you're going to start thinking, yeah, you know what? I was wrong. Oh, well, it's on video now. My least
I stand
favorite. Tower of Terror.
Oh my gosh.
Got him.
Everything he just said negative about me, it's like almost he was overcompensating because he knew he was going to say some bull. Tower of Terror is a lot of people's number one favorite.
Those people are crazy, and you should not associate with them.
The theming for Tower of Terror, the tower itself, the cobwebs, the pre-ride show is fun, and then the you're in the boiler room, you're in the cast members act, then you're in this elevator just because you don't like the up and down. By the way,
up and down,
it's not even that bad because it's not like you go all the way up and all the way down. It's on a random computer screen, a computer thing, and it'll start you. It'll go down like 20 feet, then go up like 10, down another 20. Or like
if it's not so bad, how come I hate it?
I don't know. I certainly don't know why
It's
it's your number one.
It's the only one from now, like, I will skip every time now.
Wow.
It's the only one. I will eat a Joffrey's muffin at the exit.
You did say that.
I will skip it every time. Everything else I'll go on. Yeah. Including attractions.
Oh yeah. Well, let's talk for a different day, but wow. The hypocrisy. The hypocrisy.
I don't see any.
Tower of Terror is objectively better than Jungle Cruise.
I disagree.
So Tower of Terror. So even though you don't like it, you're putting it at your number one least favorite.
Least favorite.
So you like the seas. You not you would ride it. You like it better than Tower of Terror.
Yes.
Wow. And I just learned something new about Andrew.
And there we go.
Aren't you glad we included this today? We almost didn't, but I'm so glad we did because it was so worth it. And now the audience probably thinks we're both out of our minds and that we both don't. Our credibility, they're going to question every opinion we both have going forward because we tacked this on.
Well, you know what I say to that?
What?
I'll cheers to that.
I'll cheers to it too.
I'm out.
I am not. Take it easy.
Take it easy.